Okay, welcome back. We're talking about the recursive thing. So let me start another one down here. So I have employee, and I got an imp ID, and I got a first name, and a last name, and how about supervisor ID? Okay, so this is going to be the only thing we have for that guy, but this is going to be a foreign key that points back to the same table. You know, normally we'd want the foreign key to be the same name as the primary key, but it's fairly obvious now that that can't be because we would have two columns with the same name. Let me just add some data to it. So pretend like I'm actually looking at rows of the data. So here's employee number 101, and it's Bob Smith, and Bob Smith reports to somebody with a supervisor ID of 100, and I hit return. Reference integrity is going to tell me you cannot add this row because you don't have anything called 100. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fill this table in the correct order. So you're going to go in here and say Jane Doe, and Jane Doe is the CEO and president of the company, but I'm making this thing mandatory, and not optional, right? I'm putting a not null on this guy, so everyone has to have a supervisor, including the person. So the way you solve that problem, this sounds a little weird. The way you solve that problem is you make it so that Jane Doe, who's the top of the pyramid, reports to herself. It's just kind of weird. Okay, so do you understand how this has to be in the correct order? I mean, I can do another 102, right? I can put in here 102, I don't know, Sally Jones. And Sally Jones could either work for 100 or 101, right? Like that. Cool. That works because that one already exists. Okay. So if I ask you the question about pyramid and tree structures are great for recursive relationship, but I have to put things in the correct order, which is a royal pain. Okay, kind of makes sense? Good. I'm going to skip the ternary and higher order stuff. Again, there's not much to be done there. Okay, let me just give you another rule. Remember when we talked about the auto number thing? So here I put auto here. All right, over here, foreign keys are never, ever an auto number. Write that down. Okay? So the primary key is a good place to use an auto number, but I would never use an auto number anywhere else other than a primary key. Never here. And the rationality is this thing starts like numbering. Let's say you started numbering at 1, okay? But when you delete one of these rows, it skips over 5. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. You know, because you deleted one in the middle. So you can't have this thing change over here, all right? And so don't ever do foreign keys with auto numbers. Okay. All right, on page 302, they start talking about the minimum cardinality. Remember we talked about minimum cardinality. We only have 2 tools in our toolbox. You know, basically it's making the foreign key null or not null, and occasionally in a 1-to-1 scenario, we might want to also throw in a unique. Okay, good. All right, so let's go back to this guy. So basically, I have I've got optional. I've got mandatory. Well, optional. Dang it. Okay. Dang. I gotta get my fingers on the right keys. So optional, optional, mandatory, mandatory, optional, dang, and mandatory, right? Okay, those are the 4 choices I have, right? Okay, so it should be fairly obvious that this one's going to be trivial, right? Because if both halves are optional, then I've got nothing to do. One more time. I cannot enforce optional. By its very nature, just saying it out loud, you should scratch your head and go, that sentence doesn't make any sense. Okay? If I have a mandatory on this side, then I need to put the foreign key on that side so I can enforce the mandatory. Okay. If I have mandatory on this side, I need to put the foreign key on that side to enforce the mandatory. Okay? And if I have mandatory, I'm kind of sort of screwed because I can only have one foreign key that connects the two tables. I cannot have two foreign keys that connect them. In other words, I can't have one point that way and then the other one point back. That doesn't work. So that means one of these choices is going to be protected and the other one is not. It's just one of the things that just flat don't work in our world. We don't really have a way to do mandatory. Okay? We just, because our foreign keys, only tools in our toolbox is foreign key, making it null or not null, and throwing a unique constraint on it. That's all we got. So we can't do that. All right. So let's just talk about this from a one-to-many perspective. So where we have a parent and a child. Okay, one more time. All right. So mandatory parent. So every child must have a parent. Okay, that's easy. Because I go to the, remember I told you that whenever you have a one-to-many, the foreign key always goes on the many side, on the child side, right? Okay, so just go to the foreign key and say not null. I'm sorry. Yeah, not null. And that's it. You're done. You've made a mandatory parent. Every one of these guys has to have one. Cool. All right. Mandatory child. Well, remember now, the only tools we have is playing with foreign keys. You have two things you can do with the foreign key. Null, not null, and make it unique. How many times have I said that? So I need to do something on the parent side to force it to have a child, but I do not have a foreign key on that side. If I don't have a foreign key, I cannot apply my tools, and therefore I cannot do a mandatory child. Can't do it. Well, that's not true. Hey, come back for the next class, the 4351, or 52 rather, and we'll teach you how you can add some more tools to the toolbox to be able to pull this off. But right now, with the tools that we have in this course, sorry, can't do it. And then this summary, which I'm not certain is all that useful, this could be kind of sort of helpful, maybe, I'm not sure it does. So action when the parent is required. So when you're doing insert, what do you have to do? Action on the parent side? Nothing. Action on the child side? Yeah. So modifying, okay, action when the child is required. Insert, action, get a child? I'm not certain how useful this little chart is. It may actually make things a little more complicated. Basically, here's the thing. Later on, not necessarily with the tools we have in our toolbox, but there's a thing where you can prohibit or find a replacement when you're doing an insert. And when you're doing a modification, you can cascade the modification. So if I modify something on the parent side, I can have it changed like I just told you that you really probably should never change the primary key. But if you did, it would replicate the changes down to all the children. And likewise for delete. One of the things we talk about in delete is if you delete the parent, it also lines up all the children and executes them. Yeah, that's one of the things you can do. So skipping a bit, on page 309 basically is kind of sort of the summary of all this. And one more time. Optional, okay. And so this is kind of assuming that this is like a one-to-many kind of a thing. So a mandatory parent, if parent is on the left-hand side and child is on the right. So that's easy. All I got to do is just go to the foreign key. This, sorry, I can't do. And this one, I can pick one of them. Okay, I can pick whichever one I think is going to cause me the most amount of trouble. The one that needs the most protection, and I would put it there. But that's it. I mean, I can only help half of this problem. I can make one of those minis work, but not the other one. Okay. Does that kind of sort of make sense? Okay, so we're going to hold off on a lot of this stuff till we get to chapter 10. All right. So one more time, let's talk about the some of the things you might have to do. Inserting, you would have a trigger. We're not doing this. And modifying, I'm holding off on all that. So here's the summary of minimum cardinality. All right, so if I have one of these scenarios, what do? Referential mandatory parent, that's pretty easy for me to do. Do I update cascades or do I prohibit it? Do I delete them? So if I delete a parent, does it kill the children? That kind of stuff. This guy, I really can't do this. I really can't have a mandatory child, so there's nothing I can do. And then mandatory, just pick one because I can't make them both work. For mandatory, I can make one of them work. I can make the right hand side work by putting the foreign key on the left hand side. That kind of stuff, or the other way around. Okay, good. Okay, so let's do a quick review of where the foreign key goes. So this is stuff that's already in lecture notes. Probably be a good idea to take a peek at it. So here's an example of a one-to-one optional, where we have a gym member and a locker. If you remember that scenario where a member could have a locker, but they don't have to. And if they have one, they only have one. And a locker could be assigned to nobody or exactly one person. So it's a one-to-one optional. So there is no real, honest-to-God, hard and fast rule, but there's a best practice. And the best, because you could put the foreign key on either side and it would work just fine. The problem here is that there's one that's slightly better than the other. And so the idea is if you have one table that's kind of static, it doesn't change, and one that's kind of volatile, so you could probably imagine that unless you make a renovation to the gym, the locker table is probably going to stay the same. But members are going to come and go. So members is more volatile than the other one. So put it on the volatile side, make it nullable, or have it so it's optional, and then add a unique constraint so you don't accidentally assign the same locker to two different people. Slightly different when you have a combination of one-to-one and optional and mandatory, because I want to enforce the mandatory. There's no such thing as enforcing optional. That doesn't even make any sense. So in able to force an optional, this is an employee and a badge. Every employee has to have one badge, but I could have a drawer full of badges that are not assigned to anyone. But if they are, they can only get one. Okay, that's how that works. So in this particular case, I'm going to put it on the optional side to make the thing mandatory on the other side. Okay, that kind of sort of makes sense. An employee must have a badge. So I'm going to put it over here on this side. So I put it on the optional side. I make it not null because it's mandatory. And then I add a unique constraint one more time just to make sure I don't accidentally assign someone the same badge number. Cool? All right, this one is complicated. A one-to-one mandatory. First of all, if the foreign key is what does the mandatory kind of thing, the null, not null on the foreign key, and a relationship can only have one foreign key, well then it's impossible for me to have both sides mandatory. It's just one of the things that happens. So we can do a pretty good, here again, this is going to be one of those where there's no hard and fast rule, but there's a best practice. You could put it on either side and it would work. In this particular case, I have an employee table and a personally identifiable information, PII. So for every row in employee, I should have exactly one row over here. And every row in PII should have exactly one row over there. Now, if I implemented the model just like this, which is not possible, but just bear with me, I wouldn't be able to insert a row in employee because it would say, hey, you don't have a row over here. And I wouldn't be able to insert a row over here because it's going to say, hey, you don't have a row over there. All right, so that's not going to work. So in this particular case, what you do is you pick the side that you fill last. In other words, I'm going to do the employee one first. That's arbitrary. I mean, I just using that as an example. And the PII, I'm going to do after I got this one full. So basically, what I'm saying is I'm making this optional and mandatory. I'm going to model it this way because later on we're going to come in and have some different tools in our toolbox. Right now, all we have is null and not null on the foreign key and unique on the foreign key. That's all we got. So I'm going to leave it modeled like this, but we're just not going to implement it that way at this point. So pick the side you fill last. In this case, I'm filling the PII last. Make it not null. Most likely it's going to be the primary key. If not, you go ahead and make a unique thing. And then just a note that only one side can be made mandatory. I really can't make both of them. Okay, we're coming up on the 15-minute mark.